So what is up, guys? Here we are in Chrysalis, the home of the Shadow Pip, and the first time that we are really introduced to Shadow Magic, which gave me a really interesting and new idea. So if you look at enchant spells, especially the damage ones, each time you get one, they just increase a little bit in damage over their past ones, and for some reason Colossal's on the page after Epic, but it's just, the same spell with a little increase in damage. And if you look at spells that we train, like here you do the spell quest, 7, 8, 9, 10 pip spells, those just increased 1 pip and they increased in damage overall. And then Wiz got the brilliant idea to not only have shadow magic, as in like Shrike and stuff like that, but to include shadow pips into spells, and that really changed the game. It had a lot of new variety to spells, and all of a sudden it wasn't just one more pip. All of a sudden it was more pip, but you could do shadow. They did split spells, a lot of different stuff you could do. And I was thinking, last time we got an enchant was Epic. That was at 110. Perhaps the next enchant could be soon. And I would like to see an enchant that wasn't just a raw increase in damage, being, 325, 350. But something that not only added a little bit more than just in damage, but maybe added a shadow pip or something here, a power pip, something that made it really was worth it to increase the spell. I came up with this. So this, for me, is my ideal next shadow enchant. As you can see, Monumental is a shadow fist. It takes 1 shadow pip, as I was mentioning before, and it gives 375 damage and then 20% pierce, and that is to 1 spell. So my thought with this was that if you're going to add a shadow pip, it should go up in damage a lot. Not just 25, not just 50, but a lot. So originally I wanted to do something like pierce or something on it, but I put it on Twitter. I said, what do you guys think of this? And it was just 375 damage for the shadow. And a lot of people were telling me, not good enough. I'm going to use my shadow pip for a hit. Like, why would I enchant something if I could just glow bugs? Like, it's hard enough to get 1 shadow pip, let alone 2. So I just use my shadow for a hit. I just use my shadow. If I had to, I'd use it for a Shrike or something and then a hit. And so then I was thinking, all right, this enchant, if it's going to use a shadow, needs to really be good enough to warrant using a shadow on it. So what I was thinking was 20% pierce. Most times shadows are used for Shrike, and even if not, it would be worth that extra damage maybe. The way that this could work in PvE is you blade up a lot, and by the time it's turn to hit, hopefully you'll have 2 shadow pips. You can glow bugs or something. You'll be max pips. You can tempest with this. In PvP, this could really be helpful too. You could now shadow enchant, like for me, Luminous Weaver. I could use my shadow on Caterpillar, which is really good, or I could Weaver with that extra pierce. I could Weaver now with that extra damage. And that would take a shadow, or if I have 2 shadow pips, now I don't have to waste a turn. Shrike overall is better. I Shrike, now I have 3 turns with 50% pierce. Or I could use this, which would be immediately, I'd only have 1 turn, I'd have 20% pierce. So it is balanced in that regard, whereas Shrike gives you more pierce overall for a longer duration. This would give you just that instant burst of pierce and maybe a little bit of a surprise attack. It's a different way to use shadow pips other than just Shrike into some hits. This could change the meta in a good way, I think. The idea to add shadow pips onto spells with Darkmoor was so profound to me, and I thought it was such a cool idea that it wasn't just here's an 11 pip spell, which they eventually did. But now I feel like let's take that kind of creative step, that ingenuity, and put it into something like this that now changes the way you'd play. You could still use Epic, you could still use Shrike, you could, use that kind of stuff, or maybe it might be worth it to do this once in a while. It could catch your opponent off guard. I'm not saying that this is perfect. I'm not saying that this will change a ton of stuff. I'm just saying that this has the potential to add new stuff into the game that I think would really change the game in a good way, and to at least get players to think about if they want to use this or not. It wouldn't just be like, here's the new enchant, it's 350 damage or it's 325 damage, have fun. Like, there's no question that you're going to be using Epic over Colossal or over Gargantuan or anything like that. So this would just be, it would just be a new enchant you could learn maybe at 130, 140. and it would just take the place here in this tree. Put it right there. But it would just take the place here, and it would just be something that you could use that would help your hits and would bring a little bit of, you know, variety to the game. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. This was just a little quick video of an idea I had. I thought it would be really interesting. I wanted to get it out there so that we could see what you guys think. I could see what, you know, maybe hopefully this reaches the devs and they think it's a decent idea. Maybe they tweak it in some way. But, you know, I just think that this game has such potential. And I think this could really open up the PvP landscape. It could really open up, it could help with PvE too. If you guys want more content like this, I do have a whole dungeon that we made. Not just one spell like this one, a whole dungeon. And that includes, you know, anything from boss cheats to dialogue to story to new spells, like actual casting spells and that. With animations, we did storyboards for animations. It's crazy. So please go check that out. I promise if you like this kind of stuff, that will blow you away because we spent so much time on that. So yeah, if you guys enjoy and you want to see more of this, I'm trying to put out videos at least one a week on Fridays. Maybe even more, maybe try to sneak in maybe 2. But yeah, make sure you subscribe, like this video if you liked it, maybe in the comments of what you think. I even shared it on Reddit. The people there thought this was a little bit too OP, but as I explained, without the Pierce, it's just not good at all. And to be honest, it's a Shadow Pip. We all know how hard Shadow Pips are to get. And there are other things you want to use Shadow Pips on, like hits and like, you know, strikes and stuff like that. So I don't think this really is that OP if you really think about it that way. I think it's just a good trade-off, and it's another thing that you could use your Shadow Pip, your rare Shadow Pip, if you get one on. You know, I think this is fairly balanced as it is right now. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Go check out some of my other videos if you're interested in those, especially Ragnarok, as I said before. And we have some other bigger content coming, like actual bosses and new spells and everything. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.